Dom, you're ready to rip, bro. Take it over. We're super excited.
Well, dude, first and foremost, I gotta say thank you, Frank, Jamie, Mike, colleague KG. There's a ton of you guys that I have met over the years and have worked with to some capacity, and I'm just very happy to be a part of this and bring the crew with us. Somebody asked me, I think it was Leticia. She asked me on the dials yesterday. So, what's going on? I was like, well, I saw the heat and I was cold. Basically, makes sense. Like you're like, what happened? Like y'all hot. Makes sense. And you gotta put your ego aside sometimes to go, I may know some stuff, but I want to help more people and I need to learn more. Makes sense. So it's been 12. It's my 12th year in the business. Have seen a lot of folks, seen a lot of different things, but also know that things change. And you guys are very adaptable to change, and I'm not so much. And I want to be a part of a group that's more adaptable. So when Frank's going, dude, this is Telesales. I was the one, what about the hybrid or the in-home? I'm like, dude, I'm fighting it. Does that make sense? I'm fighting it. So thank you for bringing me on, man. And you guys have helped me way more than I can help you guys, but I'll definitely do what I can. And today I'm going to do a lot of just directing tonight. We have Jacob Bruns on the Zoom with us tonight. Jacob, you unmuted, dude? Where you at? Right on. So we got Jacob Bruns, man. How old are you, Jacob?
21.
21. Okay. And how much business? We're going to stay simplified, issued, final expense. How much final expense insurance have you sold the last 2 weeks?
2 weeks, like 30 grand.
30,000. Okay. And let's be very transparent. All right. How much did you issue last month?
Very low. Like
all right, that's about it. How much was it?
Under like 5,000.
Okay. What's the most you've issued paid in the past?
Like 38,000.
38,000. Okay. And you've been in business all of 12 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason I wanted to open up with that for everybody is to let you know, like, if you're in a spot or you're in a situation that you're like, man, like I need this to work. I want this to work. Or maybe you've been in business for a little bit, 6 months, 7 months, and you just, man, I'm going through something right now. I got all these chargebacks. I got this. I got debt that rolled up to me. You can figure it out. Okay? You could figure it out. There is a way out. And so what we're going to talk about today is not just how to get out of a situation. All right? It's how to stay out of situations. Okay. Is everybody with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all of us, dude, this is a commission-based deal, dude. It goes up, it goes down. You got this, you got emotions. But what allows you to stay very, very consistent is what I want to talk about tonight. And then that leads to simplified issued insurance and final expense. Okay. So reason final expense is so, well, actually, let me ask Jacob. Jacob, why do you like final expense?
You get paid more and quicker.
Quicker. More than what?
More than IULs and
more often.
Yeah, more often. Yeah.
More often. Got it. Okay. All right. Just there we go. There we go. All right. So you get paid more often, right?
Yeah.
You get paid quicker. And in business, that allows you to make better decisions. Make sense? It allows you to make more decisions versus I got paid $11,000 on this one case that took 4, 5, 6 weeks, right? Or, dude, I got paid $6 grand this week, right? Off of 4 or 5 or 6 different policies that I wrote. I'm more excited about the $6 grand this week than I am 11 after 6. Now, is there a time and a place for it? Absolutely. All right. But this is how we always stay out of situations, is always being consistent with number one, lead flow. Okay. You need lead flow. All right. How many leads did it take last week? How much did you write last week?
Like 20,000.
How many leads did you get?
Like 150.
150. Okay. Let's just say they were $10. Okay. Like Frank said, there's averages. There's some that come in $7, $8, or some that come in $13. All right. But at $10, that's 100 or what, that $1,500? Is anybody down to spend $1,500 to sell $20,000 of simplified insurance? How about $1,500 to sell $10,000 of simplified insurance? Let's just cut it in half. Okay. What does it take and what should you expect? All right. This is the schedule that it takes. And I want to get into phone script and things like that, Jacob, and I want you to take that. But the schedule that it takes to make this thing happen on telesales is different than the in-home. And if you're brand new, it's like, why even? And we actually have to get to the point, Frank, to where we're not even talking about the in-home. Does that make sense? Like to where it's not even a comparison type of deal. Makes sense? Because it's just like, it's like apples and oranges, you know? So, but it's the commitment on the phone and the time that you start and the time that you finish. So when Frank's talking about start at 8 and don't be done until 5, that is the truth. And you got to be crazy locked in for that time, because you can go and be like, I bought these leads, but if you're not committed to working 12 hours, you're not going to win. Like this is not a cheat code to work less. Make sense? And I think a lot of times we hear leads and we go, oh, this is the lead I'm gonna be able to work less and get more out of it. Nope. You're gonna work the same or more, but you're gonna get definitely something out of it. And it's the time that you need to put in. So start at 8 a.m. and be done, 8, 9 p.m. And depending on where you're calling at, Jacob, we just opened up Hawaii. So now you can rock out until like midnight.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's stuff like that. It's like when you're doing telesales, now you're in control of your deal. You're in control of it. So 12-hour days, 8 to 12-hour days, depending on where you are, is what you can expect. Okay. And another thing with expectations, and I want Jacob to get into script, is the approach, Jacob. Like, you know, I mean, what's your approach on the phone, your script, what are you saying? And what we can role play a little bit with that. But so you got your schedule, okay? And then you got your lead flow, all right? But then also you got to know what to expect as is what is going to be your return, right? And what we've seen, and I talked to Jamie, and I forget the guy's name, but you guys said the numbers are pretty similar. But we've had about 7, 8 folks running these leads, okay? And if anybody who's on our team can get on here and say that's wrong, say it right now in front of everybody, okay? But 1 out of every 25 leads is a sale. 1 out of every 25. And that's not a up the hill, I got to fight for a sale. That is, you call them, you're confident, and they go, yeah, I filled that out. I need 10,000. It has to be below $90 though. Something like that. You'll be like, for real? Am I on candid camera? Like, is this really happening? But I have to put the dials in to get them to pick up, and I have to stick with it. All right. So I'd say every 25, you're going to get probably 3 or 4 presentations, and you should write 1. You may write 2. Jacob, what are those numbers? How do those numbers sound?
Pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, right on the dot.
Is anybody else on here who's been running those leads with us? Can anybody else second that or give any feedback with that? And if you're in a bad place, it's all good. But I think the reason I want to, you can second that? Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got 50, got 2 sales out of them.
Boom.
If Gary's on here, Gary's been running consistently as
Yeah,
well.
I ran Gary's numbers and they were right on. It was actually 22 to 1.
There you go.
There you go. And Jacob is actually a little bit better. And as you get better, it gets better, by the way. As you get better, it gets better. But I'm a brand new agent, Ariana. Ariana just started with us. I'm a brand new agent. What do I need to, how do I make 4 sales a week? Buy 100 leads, dude, and work 8, 12-hour days. Really, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. To have that type of confidence, isn't that exciting to bring people on?
Mhm.
Isn't that exciting to go? And then you get on live dials. Like today, Ariana, she called a lead for Jacob. So Jacob, you helped the Facebook final expense today?
Yeah, 2 actually from the leads I got like a week ago. So out of those 150, I actually technically wrote, 22 grand off of those now. So there's
So
still,
the so
there's still a lot
the
in
quick
there.
hitters, so the quick hitters, you got about 20,
Yeah,
and then you can go back and go through. Yeah, dude, that's just. But think about this from a scalability point of view. Is like, if I can get my return, say I drop $1,000 on leads, I can get my return in 2 days, right? In 2 or 3 days, I get my return. Do I really have to keep calling those same leads? Or if I'm Veronique, I go, let me just give those leads to my downline. I'll buy 100 more. Like, what we can do with this type of flow is insane. Makes sense? And so there's so much more on it. So Ariana called leads today for Jacob, right? So like when you're in between, when you're waiting for your license or, you're contracting to come back, we've been doing a lot of live transfers. Like, hey, let's get a new agent on. You get them on the phone and then transfer them over, and made 2 more sales today off of those transfers. So the response rate is great. I would say this: you have to call them fast. Okay, like, don't wait. I made the mistake. All right, and I've learned. I made the mistake of, well, you know what? Let me call them all tomorrow. Nope. Even if you get one in at 9 p.m., call that one at 9 p.m. You're like, it's late. Dude, they filled it out. It's not late. It's not late at all. They filled it out. Makes sense? Jacob, remember you had one that called you what? Like 10 o'clock? 9:30 or something like that?
oh yeah,
Wrote her up. So you have to be on these things quick. Quick. All right. It doesn't mean that they're bad a week later. No. It just means that they probably forgot about it and they probably got insurance somewhere else. And another thing that I'm gonna turn over to Jacob is they typically have insurance. A lot of them already have insurance. They just need more. And they're not looking for you to replace their insurance either. All right. So you can get on there thinking you got to fight or beat a price. That's not what they're looking to do. And they're all 65 plus. You write an 84-year-old $4,000 of insurance. It's still a nice premium. Makes sense? And everybody 65 plus, they typically don't have Direct Express like that. They got bank accounts. Typically Direct Express is those 40 and 50-year-olds that, you know what I mean, that just made bad decisions early in their life. But you get 65, 70-year-olds, they got bank accounts. They got multiple bank accounts and they know their checking account number off the top of their head. And I'm just letting you know what I've seen the last 2 weeks with these, because I think all these things matter if you're going, am I going to invest in these, right? Am I going to invest in these leads? I think you should have confidence in that. And thanks to Michael File, he's pulled back the curtain for a lot of us to go, this is how it works. And when you know how it works, you know how to work it. Is that fair to say? So Jacob, let's get into the approach, what you're saying on the phone, so that when folks do get their leads in today, tomorrow they're prepared and ready to rip. Make sense?
yeah.
Okay. Now, question for you. Do you book appointments or one call close?
One call close.
Okay.
If they can't do it right then I'm not setting an appointment. I'm just saying I'll call you later.
Why?
Because they're never going to pick up. But if they don't know what I'm going to call them, I have a better shot. So I never set up.
That's huge. That was learned, right? Was that learned this week or these past few weeks?
Every single appointment I set, they would ignore the number. So
setting appointments, you're playing yourself. Okay. Now, if it's a mortgage lead, see, this is different. Mortgage direct mail, maybe you're calling somebody, different story, dude. Different story. You're going to set the appointment and meet with them. But final expense, bro, it's a one call close. So how do we keep them on the phone for the one call close, Jacob? Let's start there. Okay.
yeah,
So let's role play a little bit, because all of them, they don't just say, yeah, I'm ready to rip. Some of them say, they're like, oh, I'm busy. Can you call me back later? Right?
Mhm.
You keep them on the phone and sell them?
yeah, sometimes. Sometimes.
Dude, I had a lady last week who was throwing up on the toilet telling me she was sick.
I remember that.
She was throwing up. I'm so sick. I go, hey, good thing I can't get sick through the phone. All right. And you can put it on speaker. She goes, yep. I go, just put it on speaker. I'm a big boy. I'll be all right. Because Lord knows, you hang up that phone, we're never going to talk again. And she goes, you're right. Got her bank account and everything. So what I'm saying is we have to have a sense of urgency ourselves. And we have to know that we really got one shot. So Jake, let's role play that real quick. I'll be
Yeah.
the client, okay?
Mhm.
So ring, hello?
Dom.
Yeah, this is Dom.
Hey, Dom, this is Jacob. I'm just getting back to you about that request that you'd sent in on Facebook. You'd seen a video of a female talking about the state regulated final expense program to take care of burial or cremation. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Right now, hey, could you call me back later?
Yeah, not a problem. I'm just an underwriter. Okay. It takes 10 minutes to go to this information. Grab a pen and paper for me.
Okay.
All right. Then I haven't write down my information. My first name's Jacob. My last name is Bruns. National producer number is this. Cool. Do I want me to keep going?
Well, no, I like that. So it seemed
Oh.
it was real smooth, right? And I hope people caught that. Okay. It's right out a good time. Can you call me back later? Only takes 10 minutes, man. Grab a pen. Be assumptive. Be assumptive. Okay. Now you might run into something else. Let's role play again. I'll throw something else at you. Okay.
You want me to go through that whole thing again?
No, we're gonna start from the top.
Okay.
Okay. Ring. Hello.
Dom.
Yeah, this is Dom.
Hey, Dom, this is Jacob. I'm just getting back to you about that request that you'd sent in on Facebook. You'd seen a video of a female talking about the state regulated final expense program to take care of burial or cremation. You remember that?
I don't know if I did that.
Okay, great. I have your date of birth here as 12/12 of 46. Is that right?
Yeah, that's me.
Cool. I'm just the underwriter. It takes 10 minutes to get this information to you. Could you grab a pen and paper?
Boom. Now, what I like about that right there, okay, hopefully you caught that, is that let's not, when you're convinced that they actually filled out the form, why sit there and go back and forth with them about whether they did it or not? Dude, I was the biggest victim of this. Was like, I used to get angry. They'd be like, I didn't do it. Yeah, you did. I didn't do it. Yeah, you did. It's like, dude, that's why are we doing that? That was my ego. Okay. Jacob, you did the same thing.
Yeah.
We all did the same thing. I probably taught you to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's like, let's not. But we start arguing with them when we don't believe that they actually did it, when we don't believe it. Because if you're so convinced that they filled out, like, there's no confusion. Hey, it's the video. And sometimes you slow back and replay it. The video with the lady with the red shirt. Final expense loves specificity. They love it. All right. When we were doing old school, the cards, the postcards, I'd call them up and I'd be like, yo, I'm calling about that form you sent back to us in the mail. They'd be like, no, I didn't fill out no form. And I'd be pissed off, like, dude, they said they didn't fill it out, blah, 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 blah. And Sean goes, yeah, dude, they didn't fill out a form. They filled out a postcard. I go, shoot, you're right. That little pink postcard. And when I started throwing that in my script, changed the game. So when you're doing this, hey, you remember that ad that you saw with the lady with the red shirt? Is very important. And that's the beauty of the lead quality that we have, is that Michael and everyone, like, they let us know what the ads are. You guys have bought leads from all these other places. You don't know what the hell the ad says, right? And we spend 25, 30 bucks on the lead happily. And you just got to call them up and say, hey, I'm calling about that post on Facebook you sent back about that final expense. Versus, yo, I'm calling about that picture you saw. Dude, it had that like 4 HD casket picture in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it was like 4K super clear, has a black casket. You seen that, right? Oh, yeah, man, I seen that. Y'all good at marketing. Yeah, dude, we're good like that. So you thinking about dying, huh?
Yeah.
Just get into it. Just get into it. But this is the beauty of it. So it's like, but you got to convince yourself that they actually did it. Because you are going to call final expense and they are going to say they didn't do it. They are going to, just like you call other, like it happens all the time. $80 mortgage protection lead. They'll walk down to the mailbox. I'll call them a week later. They say they never did it. I'm like, did Casper take your mail and walk down to the mailbox and sign your name? Make sense? So, all right, let's do the approach. I won't give you any objections. and let's roll. Let's set it up to let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. Let's get a little bit further into it. And
Yeah.
I want you to I want you to start identifying and let's pick it up after grab a pen, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay.
All
So grab pen and paper.
I got one. I got it.
All right, cool. So I just want you to write down my first name. All right, that's Jacob, Jacob. And my last name is Bruns, Bruns.
Got it.
All right, and then my national producer number. That's 203-944-84. All right, you can use that to look me up on the Department of Insurance website. You can see I don't have any complaints on there, and I don't plan to start with you. Sound fair?
That sounds good to me, man.
All right, good. So, Dom, tell me a little bit about, when you've seen this ad, do you already have coverage in place, or do you have nothing at all? Or were you just looking to add on something?
I already have some.
Okay, cool. So I'm assuming you just wanted to add on some.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And I want to see how much it is to add some more.
Cool. So, how much coverage do you currently have?
15,000.
Okay. How long ago did you get it?
Long time ago.
Okay, so long time. So you understand that, as you age, insurance gets more expensive, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was the thing. I want to know if I'm too old, can I even afford it?
Cool. So the cool thing about me, Dom, all right, as I'm a broker, all right, with the state of California. Okay, I work with over 53 different carriers. My job's super simple. I ask you about 5 medical questions. Based on how you answer me, that's pretty much how I'm going to pick the company to see which one's going to most likely approve you at the lowest rates. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Makes sense.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. All right. And now, Dom, everyone who's looking into this type of coverage has someone in mind that they want to make sure that no burden's left behind. Okay. So who is that person in your mind that's going to be, picking up the pieces whenever you pass away?
My son is
Your son. What's your son's name?
Cameron.
Cameron. How old's your son?
So 35.
35. All right. Does he live close by?
No.
Not at all. Like out of
No,
state?
he's in Ohio.
Do you talk to him still?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just know some parents hate their kids, so all good though. All right, cool. So would you safe to say that, if you were to pass away, say yesterday, would it be kind of hard for him to, leave his situation in Ohio to come all the way out to California, to be able to, lay you to rest? Think that'd be hard on him?
Yeah, it would be.
Good. Not good, but okay. All right, so we'll run through this sheet. All right. It's going to basically go over pretty simple medical questions, and then kind of go over a little bit of financial need. Go over the coverage you currently have, because I'm not here to replace it. I just want to make sure that, one, you get what you're looking for, but it's comfortable and affordable, because I don't want to make this another bill on you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. All right. So Dom, are you currently working? Are you working still a little bit, or are you fully retired?
I'm retired.
Okay. And how much income you bringing in every month?
Like 2,500.
2,500. All right. You paying a mortgage, or you renting?
My house is paid off.
Paid off.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. Retired with a paid off house, huh?
Not bad, dude.
All right. Cool. So that 2,500 that you're getting every month, is that going into your bank account like most people, or are you getting that on Direct Express?
Bank account.
Great. All right. Now, Dom, are you a smoker?
No.
All right. Any history of heart attack, stroke, or cancer in the past?
Nope.
Okay. Any asthma, COPD?
No, I'm healthy as a horse.
Any diabetes?
Nope.
Any high blood pressure?
Nothing.
Currently taking any prescription medications?
I used to, but not anymore.
What were the ones you used to take?
They're like pain meds and stuff like that back in the day.
Okay. So you're pretty healthy. So you got something on your driving record?
I got some tickets,
Okay.
but nothing crazy.
Mhm. I guess I can just point this out. If someone's like extremely healthy and they're like super old, I wouldn't say old, but I always want to make it like seem hard to get, because the insurance that they had, they probably like Dom said, he's gotten it a while ago. Right. And as we get older, we get more health conditions. Okay. So I want to make it seem hard to get, like it's like they can't get any more. Right. So I want to make it seem like this isn't just something they can just buy. Right. Because I want them to get approved for it. Like, hey, this is something you have to get approved for, not you can't just buy it.
And the biggest reason, thank you for pointing that out. The biggest reason is you're going to set yourself up for a lot of like, I want to think about it, or I'll get back to you later.
Yeah.
If it's like just, yeah, anybody can get it. And, oh yeah, you're good. Like if they say, well, no, I don't take anything. Oh man, that's like that's great, dude. You'll definitely, and there'll be no problem. You're like, I want to make them believe. And when he goes, I got a couple tickets, I go, how fast were you going?
Yeah.
Like, were you going like really fast, or like, nah, man, I think I was like, okay, we'll see. They do check that, because the insurance companies, like it's a liability, and they need to make sure that you're not as much a liability as the next person. Everybody's not the same.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of sales over the years because I made it seem like everybody can get it based on the way that they were answering my questions. So that's big stuff. Now, Jacob, when you're talking about the current coverage that they have, okay, I want to ask them, okay, and this is a learning moment for all of us. All right, is I want to talk to them about really what that was for. Makes sense? Like, I want the sale, if this final expense sale, they should be telling you. They should be telling you exactly what the insurance is going to be for. They don't know how much it's going to cost. That's what but now I need to talk to them about, what do you want this to do? So I got $15,000. My next question is, all right, cool. So I'm assuming that's for your final expenses? Yeah. All right. So you're looking to get buried? Yeah, I'm looking to get buried. All right. You going to have one of those expensive burials? Or are you trying to leave some extra money behind for your family, or you got a loan or a car or a house? Like, what you got going on, man? Because your burial looks like it's taken care of, unless you plan on getting buried in a gold casket. What you plan on doing? Well, yeah, man. Now I got this I got a new girl, and I want to make sure that. Oh, got it. But if you're only thinking that I'm just going to add insurance, I don't know what it's for, or this is going to be for their burial, you may be talking about something that they're not even trying to cover.
I do that at the end.
Makes sense?
Like at the end of the financial inventory.
Right on.
Yeah.
So the earlier you can draw that out, the better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like right when, oh yeah, I got this. Great. What's that? Or I got $5,000 of insurance. You want to be buried or cremated? So I ask them, how much insurance you have? I got about 5,000. And this is how I say, hey, I'm assuming most people fill this out for like 1 to 3 reasons. Either 1, you don't have any insurance at all and you need some. 2 is, and this is most likely, is you already have some and you just need some more because you realize like things are expensive. All right. Or 3, you've been sick and you couldn't get it in the past. Which one of those 3 is it? Dude, 99% of the time they pick number 2. Okay. And then sometimes the first one, they just don't have it. A lot of people and sometimes they don't even let you get to the second one after the first one. When you say 1 is you don't have it, they jump right in there. Yeah, I don't have it. That's me. But let them, they'll tell you where it is versus you assuming what it's going to be. And I think that's huge with final expense, because they want to be led, but they want to feel like they're in control. One of the biggest things Sean told me is that, dude, it's you're selling the insurance, right? It's their house, but it's your appointment, right? So take that to Telesales, right? It's their phone call, right? But it's my appointment. that make sense? Like I'm helping them, but I got to run the show. But I'm going to make them feel like they're a part of it too. Make sense? I think that's massive. All right. Now going into the burial and cremation, you're going to find yourself, if you're just going, hey, burial and cremation, you're just handling burial. Or handling cremation. You're going to find yourself probably with these leads, you'll be fine because the premiums are great, but you want more value. Okay. And you want to talk to people about, hey, do you really want to be doing this again? Like, yeah, we're going to cover we can cover the cremation or the burial. But just this morning, I sat down with somebody who was 83 and they had $10,000 of insurance. And you know what? They needed some more. And 5,000 at 83 was a lot. And the number one thing they always say is, damn, I wish I would have got this when I was in my 60s. So understand, don't they say that?
Yeah, every time.
They always say that. Okay. So I use that to draw more value. So I'm like, hey, Frank, without a shadow of a doubt, we know we can take care of the 5. Okay. We know that. But realistically, man, do you really think a cremation is still going to be $5,000 in 20 years, in 15 years? Like, if you believe that, or even if you don't believe it, and this is as much as you can afford, cool, by all means, dude, this is what we're going to do. But please, dude, I don't want you to fill out a form in 5 years, 10 years, because I'm still going to be doing this. And then you come back to me, then I have to get you more insurance at a higher rate, and Lord knows if you're even going to be able to get it. That's how you don't just walk out of the house with $5,000 checks or 10,000. If they really can't afford it, that's totally cool. But at least you didn't just take I just want this taken care of, and know that they got more in the tank. There's more in the tank because I don't want them. And that's because of these policies that a lot of them that we're selling, they are additional insurance. So if anything that we're learning is, dude, let's sell them more insurance earlier. Because there's way too many people 70, 75, 80 years old who have insurance and who just don't have enough. So although it's a good thing for us because now we're getting leads, use it to help you sell more leads and help you sell more value with your leads. So anything, I know we're getting close on time. I apologize, you guys. But is there any questions, or Frank or Mike, do you guys want to hop on and ask Jacob anything?
Yeah, time. We're not worried about time.
I got a question.
This is gold.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank you, Dom and Jacob, for that.
Absolutely.
I wrote it in the chat, but it's a lot of other people posted after me. Are you guys calling from a local number, or are you calling from your own phones?
Local.
Okay.
Local. Yep. Yeah. And that's big. You need multiple states too for telesales. And I know on the new agent training, we talked about that on Saturday. But you need to open up your states. You need to have at least 7 to 10 states. If you're doing, if this is what you're doing, you should have that many. And there's an app called Burner to where you can get all these different numbers. You're going to get way more pickups if you use just a number in the same state. It doesn't need to be the same, like actual area code. But California people are more likely to pick up somebody in California. Same thing with Maryland, Oklahoma, Texas. So you're going to give yourself a much better shot. Eventually they'll pick up from your number, but it may take a while.
Yeah.
No doubt. And if you have a question, any other questions, text them in the chat now and we'll ask them. Jacob, I don't know if you said this. How long have you been doing this?
It was a year as of like July 31st.
Okay, so you're at a year. And you've been full-time the whole time?
Yeah. I wouldn't say full-time the whole time. I feel like, I mean, yeah, yes, but like also, I lost track and just got caught up in some shit. But
Okay. No, listen, we all get caught up in some shit every now and again. But like what's interesting to me is how similar you sound to Dom. And like when you handle objections, you almost ignore it. That's what Jamie's the king of ignoring objections. They're like, I'm not interested. She's like, okay, so you get home at 6, you said, right? They're like, no, I said I'm not interested. I'm like, are you not even listening to them? She's like, no, I don't care what they say.
yeah.
And it's all the same. And that's exactly when Dom threw out objections, you were like, Yeah, it only takes 10 minutes to go grab a pen. Guy's like, I'm not interested. But then Dom goes, okay. And it's funny, Dom, it's just natural to do that, right?
Yep.
And it's natural for the client to do it too. I think if y'all, Jacob, are you on our, have you been on live dials at all?
Oh, yeah, I'm on there every day.
You're okay. We need to get, if I'm new within 6 months, a year, 3 months, I would be watching Jacob nonstop, because you look at Dom, he's been doing it for 14 years. You go, well, he's been doing it for 14 years. I'm not as good. I'm not as experienced as Dom. Okay. What's your excuse with Jacob? He's brand new. I mean, he's as new as they come. So, dude, I'm excited to watch you. You train about as good as you can train for it sounds like you've been doing this for 6-7 years. The way you are, as smooth as you are on the phone, and as calm as you are handling the objections and adversity, it shows that you've been listening to somebody like Dom. Because I mean, again,
Hey, can I share something real quick, dude?
yes, please.
Yeah, Jacob, can you tell them about that client last week? And like, because you're talking about like demeanor, right? Let me tell her. He goes, let me get your social security number. She goes, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. He goes, but it's me. And she goes, yeah, you're right. It's you. And what I mean by that is just like the confidence. Like we can get in there. Oh, they need your insurance number. You're not the only Jacob Bruns. You can get into all that, right? But if you really just set the tone at the beginning, and the reason he could do that was because at the beginning she let him know I'm a human being. Make sense? I'm a human, right? And we're laughing, we're joking. Even when he asked me about the son thing, right? And he said, do you talk to your son? And he goes, well, some people hate their son, right? Like he really says that type of stuff on the phone. Like he really says that type of stuff. And he'd be like, oh, that's good. And like, oh, actually, that's not good. Like, you know what I mean? But like that, I don't know if he did that on accident or on purpose, but he does that stuff.
He's just very real.
Dude, and it just lets people know, like, oh, here, bro. Oh, but it's me. Like, yeah, it's you. But it's me.
This is a good question. How do you approach, if you're calling CRM leads, is when you can't go the video with the lady in the red dress or the red shirt? What's the difference?
I love it, dude. Great question. All right. This is where you got to use the note section. You know how many people buy leads out of the ILC and do not look at the note section? Like, dude, there's a whole note section that tells you height, weight, whether they had a DUI or not, felonies. Like, I mean, they ask them so many damn questions. It's ridiculous. So you got to use that stuff, right? And don't use the height and weight. Whoever asked that, use height and weight. And if you go, oh, they put it in inches, well, freaking learn how to convert, okay? Like, come on. Like, and I hear that way too much. We're like, it's in inches. I'm like, oh my goodness. Do you know how many times 12 goes into it? Like, come on. So let's just figure it out. But I'm just saying, like, those are the things that you need to use. Beneficiary leads, always go straight to the beneficiary. Hey, you're online, you were looking for that final expense program. You put your beneficiary was Jacob Bruns. Yep. All right, cool. My job is simple. Makes sense. So great question, dude. But so many people do not look at the note section, and it's all there.
Perfect. All right, we'll do one more question, then we'll wrap this thing up. Are you dialing, like, how are you dialing the leads? Like, we teach to let it ring the first time to voicemail so we can see if they say their name different. And then 3 times in a row, 3 times, or let it ring 3 times, hang up, let it ring 3 times, hang up. How are you guys doing it? Any different than we do it, or?
Nah, that's it, dude.
So
that's it.
There's definitely sometimes when you hear them, like, because some of them have landlines.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of them, not a couple, honestly, a lot of them, but sometimes they just pick it up and hang it up. So I'll sit there and dial until they say hello. So I've literally called someone 19 times in a row until they said hello. And then I finally, then I just sold it right there. So it's, you just got to stay with it.
Dude, I love him. And then are you texting him if you can't get a hold of him? Do you shoot any text messages at all?
Yeah. So if their number, because I use Ringy. So if I dial it and it's going straight to voicemail, then I'll text them.
Okay.
I've gotten responses there too, but other than that, yeah.
What'd you? I was on live for a little bit today, dude. And you were closing that one deal. What'd that lady say on the phone about her phone ringing?
What do you mean?
Ariana, are you on here? It was awesome. She goes, I can't believe I even picked up. My phone rings all day long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How many times did you call her, Ariana, for her to pick up?
Maybe like 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4. And Jacob, how many times did you already call her?
Probably like 15.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
so it
on the
doesn't matter.
phone, she goes, hey, I can't believe y'all even contacted me. I never pick up the phone. I got so many spam calls.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
it.
but sometimes with those burner numbers, they go to spam. And I've
Yeah.
had people tell me that. So
Yep.
what I do, if they're not answering my like burner number, then I'll just call them on my personal because it pops
That's
up. And even they're like, where are you calling from? Like Oklahoma City, where are you at? I know where you're at. You're in Ohio. You know what I mean? So
Dude, it's just I love it. He just doesn't care in the sense of like it doesn't matter what you say to me. I'm good either way. I want to help you, and if you're too stupid to let me help you, that's on you, not on me. And that's the attitude, and that's why you're having so much success. The last thing I want to add to y'all is, I doubt you are doing this because none of us are. Are we asking on every one of these appointments, what do you have that acts like life insurance, IRA,
There we go.
403b? We need to start incorporating that question into everybody you speak to.
Yes.
Let me explain to you how annuities changed our life. And when I tell you they changed our life, there were months that without the annuity volume, hell, I mean, I don't want to say we wouldn't have made it because we would have made it, but like it just made it a hell of a lot easier. If you write 1 to 2 annuity apps a month, you will not have cash flow problems. So if you're on this call and your cash flow isn't where you want it to be, as many people as you talk to, I promise you, you're leaving money on the table. And Jacob, as good as you are with getting the checking account and the social security number, if you ask that question and they have money, they will let you talk to them. And for every 10 you find, you should write 1 to 2. So it's leads within leads. You want to maximize your profitability. People always ask, like, what's your ROI on your lead investment? I don't know. And I really don't care because I'm making more money than I'm spending. And that means I'm profitable. If you want to maximize your profits, start asking that question. And when you ask the question, if you need help, reach out to me. I'll help anybody on this call, anybody on the team, anybody in the company. I'll help. It's my job. But we can pitch and sell a ton of annuities to the clientele we're working with day in and day out. So
Yes, sir.
that was incredible. I mean, one of the best calls we've had in a while, just straight facts and nuggets, which is what we all needed. Dom, again, thank you, man. I'm so excited for this team bonding we're doing. It's gonna be beneficial on both sides.